Episode 136, and the beats go on. How are you, folks? Welcome back. Again, this episode is sponsored by our friends over in Prince Edward Island, Maritime Madness. Check them out. Use the code FLA10. Save 10%. Free shipping in Canada over $35. Over here. Fantastic flavors. Check them out. Let's get into it here, folks. We got a fantastic episode to prelude. Big fight tonight in the UFC. Gavin Tucker, local boy, going to do his thing tonight in the UFC. Really excited for him and the team. Put in a lot of hard work, and hopefully it's going to pay off tonight with another win, putting him 4-1 in the UFC and possibly in the top 15, which is very cool in the featherweight division. Anyway, let's get into it here again, folks, with our tonight's conversation with Mr. Luc De Ste Croix. He's, I don't know if I try to do the names as best as I can, but I'm certainly no announcer. But anyway, this guy's super talented out of Fit Plus. Really great kind of all-around skill set. Very young and just super explosive, and a guy that I think is going to be, if he continues on the path and obviously keeps doing what he's doing with the great team around him, I think he's got a big future in the sport. So let's welcome him on right away, folks. Again, 2-0 in amateur MMA, and hopefully going to grow that into a bigger record in the near future with FLA. So let's bring him on. Luke, how are you, man?
I'm good. Thanks for having me on, Kat.
Yeah, man. It's been a kind of weird few months. Thanks for joining us. I know you competed at our last event. How you been doing? Keeping busy?
Yeah, definitely. It's great to be on the event. Get back in being in competition was a great feeling, and just have any opportunity right now.
Yeah, it's hard right now. That's the thing. Like, everybody's still doing a little training. It's when it's in your blood, that's part of who it is. And the clubs can be shut down all they want. People are finding a way to train, and that's always going to be the way it is. And it's something about this sport, man. And like, let's get into it before we'll kind of cover that. Like, because I don't know you super well. I don't know a ton of the guys who compete a lot really well, but I know them from a sport and kind of this relationship. And I'm always a big fan of how you compete, man. How did you get into this whole kind of martial arts journey?
So I was 15 and a half going in grade 10. So I was almost 16, and just jumped into a gym. And from day one, I had MMA in mind. I wasn't like, I want to, test the waters. Like day one, I was like, I want to be in a cage one day. So I always had that in mind. And ever since, it's just been 1% every day, just getting to the gym, literally pretty much every day.
That's huge.
Thinking about it and trying to work on it, trying to do the things I need to do to be where I want to be.
Mm-hmm. So, doing all the smart things.
Yeah, for sure. It's a long road, but it's an enjoyable road at the same time.
Mm-hmm. How old are you, Luke?
21.
Yeah, 21. That's awesome, man. Because I remember when you did come on the scene, because you're very like, for me, like as a fan of the sport before a promoter, I like exciting people, and like that's a pretty easy thing to like. Yeah. People who push action and go for the finish. When I train, when I roll, I'm going for the finish at all time for the most part. Sure. If I'm getting a little old and a little more timid as I get older, but just I don't want to get hurt. But I kind of like, it's one of those things. You got to push the pace, and you do that a lot.
For sure. That's kind of just naturally in me, especially when you're kill or be killed.
Yeah,
I know even in jiu-jitsu, not necessarily, but it's competitive, and if you're not first, you're last, right?
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, it's just kind of always been that way for me for anything I do. I played sports all growing up that way.
High level stuff?
Yeah, I played hockey my whole life. Not obviously freaking in the NHL or anything near that, but high level hockey, and transitioned over. It gave me a good base to work off of, for sure.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you go. Sorry.
I was just like, I'm always, because people, sometimes I hear people saying, oh, well, like that, like if he comes from another sport or she comes from another sport, they might not transition over. Like this whole LeBron versus Kobe thing. Like, it's like, I don't know where I sit with that, to be completely honest. Like I'm a big fan of like, yeah, martial arts is going to win, but I'm also like, LeBron is fucking 270 pounds and 6'8", man.
For sure.
Like, you're not going to hurt him.
No, I don't even know what that would look like. It'd be a freak show for sure.
I think like good athletes from other sports, like you said, hockey, like I think they can come over to MMA or jiu-jitsu, and like I've seen it and you've seen it too, right? Like,
for sure. Oh man, definitely. You'd have some athletes that would they would just excel. Football is a good example. Look at all the football guys in the UFC. It's like a thing now. It's like, okay, you took your football career as far as you can go. Get in the cage now. Like,
get in the cage. Speaking of which, Zach Garcia, another team leader.
Yeah, exactly. Example. Crazy work ethic from football, right? And then physical attributes to go with it, right? So
it's a good skill set to have, man. That's it. It's how's Zach doing?
He's doing really well up until a month ago or however long it was when the gyms closed again in HRM. We were back at it. It was great for the reopening period. It was awesome to be back in the gym with everyone, and just
it was pretty good. Like probably from April until about September, I would say, November. I guess they closed again.
It might have been after
kind of started to get south, like in the fall, like October, right after our event. Things started to kind of go a little weird.
For sure. Yeah,
we were so lucky to pull that off.
Yeah, it was good timing, and it was super well done with the scenario. You know what I mean?
Yeah, everybody played by the rules, dude. And again, like as a fan again of the sport, this is why John and I both do this stuff. Like how good of a feeling is, like you hear Joel and other judo talk about, and other people talk about, like when they're backstage, everybody watching the fights together, the Khabib fight before the event. And I didn't get to witness that. But like just those moments and seeing everybody come together, like it doesn't matter what team you're from. Like it does at the end of the day, but truthfully, we're like, it's fuck. Who cares?
For sure. A small jiu-jitsu community in Nova Scotia, for sure, and the Maritimes in general. It's not like we're the number one sport out there, like, you know what I mean?
It's being proven right now we're not.
Yeah, for sure, exactly. But but it is good in that way of, you know what I mean, camaraderie amongst practitioners, especially jiu-jitsu, I find.
Well, you've competed in kickboxing, MMA, jiu-jitsu. You've done lots of, probably sparred in boxing in some places, have you?
Maybe a bit ago. Not quite recently, not in the 2 years now, but back in the day, for sure.
Yeah. Well, either way, I get the whole idea is like what the feeling martial arts gives you, right? And like competing is one thing, but like I put a post up today about like just what does martial arts kind of give, and every single person, like probably 20 people wrote, and everyone was mental health, physical health, and how it makes me feel afterwards. Like
for sure,
it's just the best feeling ever.
Yep. It is truly nothing like it, and it goes in so many ways, right? Like you can look at it in any perspective like that, right? It can be something where, you're trying to compete, you're trying to make a living out of it, you know what I mean? And you can, or, at the same time, it's really, okay, I'm going to that safe place at the gym, you know what I mean? Every day I had a long day at 9 to 5. I get to go out
around my buddies.
Yeah, exactly. And then that physical activity to the max, which is grappling, jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai, right? Or MMA training, whatever it is, boxing is just makes it all come together even more, for sure. So big believer in that myself, that just getting to the gym is something all in itself.
Yeah, there's a lot to be said for that, getting there. Like how many days you're like, oh, I don't want to go, and you end up having your best training session.
Yeah,
it's weird.
Definitely,
right?
Those days happen. Yeah,
and it's not. I don't think that it's just. I think you're just extra proud of yourself, because it's like, fuck, I really didn't want to go.
Yeah,
and here I was, and I was, just had
getting there.
really good rounds with people, and just it does something that it's like the world's best aphrodisiac. Those memes are true where you see them all the time. You see the guy and the girl laying in bed. And it's like, oh, I bet he's thinking about the other girl. And it's like, oh, I wonder how I missed that leg lock at class.
Oh yeah, those will drive you crazy. Those little things like that in the gym, for sure. Anything competing, for sure. Those.
Well, let's talk about competing a little bit. Like again, you've competed in kickboxing, MMA. 2-0. Hopefully, you're going to fight in the near future for us or someone else, but hopefully for us.
Yeah, and, near future for sure.
What was your experience like at the Kumite?
Oh, it was. It felt like a fight. For sure. Those pre-competition nerves were there, and the walkout, and how you have your opponent, and you kind of see him throughout in the backstage process. It was very fight night vibes, for sure. It didn't feel like a regular jiu-jitsu tournament to me. Yeah. Maybe because it was like a show kind of thing, and you know that people are watching, and that pressure is kind of there.
Yeah.
And
well, you handled it like a boss, dude.
Oh well, kill or be killed. Well, not in jiu-jitsu, but
no, but still, like, that's it, man. It's like, that's one thing. Like, I openly admit it. I'm not a great competitor. I got to get better at it. But that's what you got to have, man. If you're not, like, you're out there. What's the point of being out there?
Yeah, for sure.
Like,
and it's a hard battle for sure, because I don't think it, like, the act of courage or whatever. There's a quote. It's not the fear of absence, but it's the willingness to act on that. So I think that's almost to the T. It doesn't. I think all fighters say that to the highest level. Like, it doesn't really get easier. You just get better at dealing with it,
handling the pressure. Like, funneling it. That, again, like, I love that. I love people who compete well. I love people who can go on stage and sing well. I love people who excel at what they can do under pressure.
For sure.
People watching them.
Under those lights, for sure.
Yeah.
And the best part about it really is, like, the back. It's like a roller coaster. The worst part about it is the weight. It's the lineup, and then it's time to compete. All of that goes out the window, and you're just showing what you got. It's just, who are you? What have you been doing? And well, that's really it is. You're exposed.
You guys are a great team, very good team. Obviously, Scott, he's been doing this for a long, long time. It's, man, like, I don't know how many guys Fit Plus had on that. 4 was Zach, Isaiah.
Isaiah. Yep.
And then who else?
That was all of us from the team, but Scott was cornering Jesse.
That's right, too. Yeah. So, three guys, and hopefully more in the near future. Scott, we'll obviously reach out to Scott, or Scott wants to reach out to us.
For sure. As soon as an event's getting lined up.
We're lining her up now.
Oh, sounds like
we're lining her up. Line them up.
It's good timing, right? It's exciting to be able to do our sport again.
Well, there's no, like, I'm not saying that just yet. But like, again, things are moving like, it's shitty with this kind of outbreak, what's going on right now, but things are kind of going back in the right direction. But long story short, we've been told to kind of proceed. February 6th is our date. It's whether or not Nova Scotia Health will now approve us. So it's not. I'm in my personal opinion, I'm guessing no for February 6th.
Better to be prepared than not.
That's it. So, because when it happens, it's going to happen very quick, and it could be February 8th. I don't know. Who knows? Because I know there's other promotions looking to do events as well, too, I think. So it'd be great if everybody can get back up and running and kind of get athletes like yourself opportunity, man.
For sure. Yeah, that's a big thing for everyone. And you know what I mean? Just be able to do everyone's thing again. You know what I mean? Have stuff legal again.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, again, like, the commission's really been great. They're really working hard for us. Like, I gotta give credit to the commission. They want fights to happen. Like, they've been. So it's not that. It's just, obviously, safety is super important right now. Sure. And martial arts doesn't matter to 90% of the pop. No, it doesn't matter, but it's just not important. So if we ended up creating an outbreak, they'd be like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah,
never again.
Yeah, but so far so good. One like Corona events, right? The jiu-jitsu one went,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that's as close contact as you can get, and it went
Yeah.
smoothly. So
And our return to action plan is like 30 pages long. It's crazy. And like we have it to the point where when you come in from your outside shoes as an athlete, that you have to put your shoes in like a solution, and then you
okay,
put on disposable slippers and walk.
okay,
Like it's so, and that's just like little things.
yeah.
But like
Well, that's what if it's got to be done, right?
it is what it is.
But
If you
no, yeah, it's like
to get her back,
exactly right.
right?
That's exactly it.
Like that's what our kind of thing is. Like you can't do, like, it's one thing if the promotion shuts off, whatever, it is what it is. It sucks, but it is what it is. But the promotions will never go without clubs and athletes. So it's so important to keep the clubs and people
For
motivated,
sure.
man.
Yeah.
Like that's what like the sport revolves around. Like promotions come and go, unfortunately, and hopefully we don't go anytime soon. But clubs go on too. But it's like, you know what I'm saying?
Keeping things alive right now, right?
Yeah.
It's a big thing.
What's the goals for you, man, in the future? What's your
so just basically get a couple more fights in an amateur and then go pro. That's the main goal. Maybe get some more kickboxing fights, some more boxing fights.
Nice.
As many grappling tournaments as I can. I'd love, for those to come back. The big grappling tournaments that like Rogue and Abaya, just those big ones, and that have a gymnasium full of people. But that's a whole thing in itself.
Yeah. Well, that's a thing. Like, yeah, I know what you're saying.
But
those are days that people love, man.
Yeah, exactly. So more jiu-jitsu tournaments, and just staying in the gym and taking it one day at a time, just because that's what it is, right? It's not one big movement that gets you where you want to be. It's slow steps, and then you look back and you're like, oh man, I've done a lot of progress. Like I've gotten a lot further than where I was.
Well said, man. It's kind of like everything we're going through right now. Like one day at a time is the only way we can kind of go at this kind of thing. And be like, you've really improved, man, again, from the first time I watched you, it was really fun and super talented to watch, but like you've really improved in like the last performance, man. Like I was super impressed.
Thank you. Yeah, and that's how I'm feeling as well. I've only ever gotten better,
motivated,
since I really started training. I've never kind of had it's just always been up, always getting better 1% every day.
Yeah.
So hoping to keep that going.
Any outside distractions? Like, is it like? I know you're not big on social media, which is good.
Yeah, I tried. You know what I mean? I think everyone's kind of gotten to everybody social media. So distractions, I wouldn't say too many. I guess I wouldn't say too many distractions. I'm pretty focused.
That's what I mean, man. Like you're 21. Like even speaking, like you're super like intelligent to talk to, very easy go. Like I've done 136 of these, and you're super easy. Like great conversation, and to have a really good head on your shoulders. And at 21, I was like on a cruise ship, drunk out of my mind, and not with my head on my shoulder. Like it was so it's an impressive quality, man. So keep it up. Very mature for your age, and yeah, it's a great quality.
Thanks. Yeah, no, that's the plan, to keep going in the right direction for sure.
Yeah, so solid people around you, Scott. He's a good mentor
for sure.
Brad, lots of
good
teammates there.
Without some of the people that are really like some close people in my life right now, I wouldn't be anywhere really near where I'd want to be in my skill level as a martial artist. That's probably the biggest one. And just where I'm at in life, you know what I mean? Couple decisions, I guess, and just staying focused.
Yep, good decisions, man. Make good decisions every day. And it only, like, I'm a big, like, it only takes a couple shitty decisions for things to go south in life.
That's definitely true for sure. A lot of quotes. I think it's like, it takes a whole life to build a reputation. Only a couple bad decisions to
tear it down.
yeah,
Yeah,
a bunch
it's
of stuff like that. But
very true, man. And you know, like what I love about that stuff, man, and surrounding yourself with people like Scott and Brad and these people, and people who are close to everybody's gym has a different culture and everybody's tight in different ways. But when you're like, I have it with Jared and Jason and our crew and Picto, and it's just like there's this thing, like this untouchable thing when you can just be yourself, like your plain self, man, and no one's going to judge you. No, they love you for it. It's just the weirdest thing. It's cool.
Yeah, like camaraderie. To its best. I know exactly what you mean. It's just literally a happy place is how I think about it. Like going, like you said, it's just going to the gym and some of the people you're like literally closest to, and you're seeing them day in, day out, getting better together, helping each other out, and you can see things moving, like gears turning, and everything's
all together, man.
Yeah, and it's pretty unique. It's a pretty unique thing, but it's a beautiful thing for sure.
It is, man. Like getting old. I'm pretty gray now. Getting gray. Not pretty gray. I'm definitely starting to get gray. Everyone at home who's watching is gray. Like, fuck you, man. Definitely. Anyway, like before, you see people get older, and like Jay's now 63. So no.
Your coach?
Yeah, Jason.
Oh, okay.
He's gonna murder me. He's like, I think he's 45 now, but he's like incredible shape. Rip your head off, kind of guy.
Yeah, he competes too, I think.
Yeah.
Watch some of your old events.
Yeah, he competes.
He'd be competing on like the main event and stuff, and
he reffed a lot.
Yeah, he's definitely reffed some of my matches for sure.
He was the ref for when, I don't know if you remember this at Chokes by the Ocean, but Diego got hometown. I don't know if you saw that or not.
Diego Sanchez, when you guys had him on.
Yeah,
I heard about him being on and stuff for sure.
Yeah. So he lost the match via decision.
Okay.
Orson, so then he got on the mic. He was like, "I got hometown," and Mike Wacker's from New York, so just like,
okay.
Yeah, it was
there
it.
You go.
There you go. Shout out to Chris Sutherland too. I don't want to forget him, man.
Oh yeah, of course. Chris is one of my number one training partners for sure.
He's a very big supporter, man.
For sure.
Very just supportive person. It seems. I like that.
For sure. Always he's always in the gym with me, literally. Always in the gym with us guys. Always awesome. Giving us rounds. So he's a great guy to have in the gym with the rest of everyone.
Yeah, that's it. What do you got for your predictions tonight?
Oh man, the Tony fight. That's like my main event. The Tony Oliveira fight. That one is tough to call. It
is. Oliveira is super underrated, man.
Oh man, his last fight, he looked brilliant.
I don't know how it's taken him this long to get these fights.
Yeah. I think back in the day, he was kind of win one. You know what I mean? Maybe lose an important one, win two. Yeah. But he's on a 7-fight win streak now, and his last fight, I was just so.
Who was it again?
It was Kevin Lee, and man, he just put a showcase on him. Like Kevin Lee was coming out off that crazy knockout off of Gregor Gillespie, training at TriStar. Seemed like a fighter ready to, go dominate. And then Charles had other plans. Just
what did he get him with?
Guillotine, but he was just out kickboxing him, and literally anytime went to the ground, Charles was threatening with a submission, which was it was ridiculous the amount of stuff he was throwing up. And
I'm super happy to see him.
Oh yeah, it will be a tough fight tonight for sure. Tony's got the same plans, I guess.
Yeah, true. Yeah, it's a tough call.
Yeah, I got the main event, Figueroa, the champion.
Yeah,
I got him to win for sure.
Yeah, it's gonna be
definitely hoping Gavin gets the win. That will be a good fight for sure. So definitely can win that fight, winnable fight for sure. I want Holland to win.
Me too, actually.
I like Holland's style. He's pretty long and lanky.
Yeah, I think he's gonna get the win, man.
Yeah, I think Jacare is starting to get a little older. I think he might be in his early 40s now, and I think he's
Don't be hating.
I'm not hating. I'm not. Glover Teixeira. That was freaking amazing. His last fight out, and he's I think 41 too.
Yeah.
And he was just out. Well, I wouldn't say out cardio, but he beat the younger, fresher guy in his prime. And
who was the guy he fought?
It was the guy with the hammer on his chest.
Teixeira. Isn't it? Is it? No, there's Glover Teixeira, and then
that's who beat him.
That's Thiago Santos.
Thiago Santos. Yeah. Yes, yeah, and that guy's a murderer. Literally, like probably I'd put him in the top 15 scary guys in the world. Like that guy's vicious.
Yeah, he is. Do you remember when he finished Anthony Smith?
I saw some clips of that fight. Yeah,
I watched the fight, and it's weird because I watched the fight and I was like, Anthony Smith looks terrible, and then he went on this crazy run.
Yes,
that's definitely not terrible. He's really good.
Yeah, that's another guy. Well, not another guy, but that's a guy who really had the Rocky story. Fought for the title. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
had 300 early on.
Doesn't he have like 300 fights or something? Like
not sure.
Ton of fights.
Yeah, you can tell. But he's a veteran for sure. Rocky story for sure.
Yeah, he'll be hanging it up soon, probably.
Yeah.
You know, I can't believe like the UFC, man. Like they're doing interesting things now. If they cut all these people, it's like because the UFC it's weird because like your tenure, you cannot make a career out of being in the UFC for a long time anymore. Like they're making it hard because like they want like people constantly recite, like, you know what I mean? Like it's weird.
It's like I think it's hard to make a career out of being a professional fighter. In the first place, right? Guys have done it, you know what I mean? But it seems that like the guys who are better off when they retire or whatever have other stuff going on as well at the same time.
I think investing like real estate and that kind of stuff.
For sure.
Your money. If you're making money fighting, that's exactly what you should be doing.
Yeah, be smart with your money at the end of the day, for sure. Because they they're making a lot of money, like especially if you win, like, and it's
American too.
Yeah, and if you're not at the lower, like at the absolute lowest point in the UFC money wise, like, and you're making serious money for sure in the UFC and even Bellator.
Yeah, I agree.
But it's just not. It's like any other sport, right? It's not long term. Basketball. It's all like that, right? Boxers blew their money. Yeah. So.
Yeah, it's so crazy, man. It's like I don't know, but the thing is, like, what I guess too, the beautiful thing about it is you don't have to fight in the UFC anymore to be a professional fighter and make a good living.
Yep, for sure.
Right? That's what's cool about it.
That is very cool. Yeah, definitely. Just alongside of being, you can say you're doing what you love, right? You're
big time
1% job in the world, right?
Like whether you're fighting ONE FC, like the top ones like Bellator, ONE FC, Risen, UFC, like whether you're the champion FLA and you're fighting 6 times a year, you know, that's a consistency, and I think that's where things need to get back to here, right? We need like consistent 3, 4, 5 events a year, building athletes so you can fight 5 times a year and then be boom gone.
Yeah,
like on to the next level of where you need to go, right? Like that's the key. Like you need, we don't need to be the feeder to the UFC. Like there's like 6 million of them. Like we can be one, no problem. But
like, be a great promotion. That's, you know what I mean, steady out for the Maritimes, for Nova Scotia. And it's giving athletes a platform and giving people, you know what I mean, MMA fans shows, because I think the sport in general is getting more popular for sure. Like the amount of people that I know that are fans, like it seems like it's way more popular than it was probably even 3 years ago.
It's changed. Like I think you're right, 100%. Like Connor and all those, but it's so hard to get people out to events. People out, like that's what I've always found. Is like we did really well. Like we sold out our first.
For sure.
Like. that's like you look at Peter and the guys like and Scott did events like we're talking like big numbers like 5,000-7,000 people.
I heard the stories from the forum and stuff. Yeah,
Those
that's
are
nuts.
big ass events, man. Those are the OGs who've been doing this, like those guys, and those are some big events. And we got to get back to. We don't have to get back to those numbers, but it would be really cool to see events back to 5,000. But I don't know, man. I'd say 2,500 is the max you're ever going to do.
Yeah. I guess it's so many things going on nowadays, right? Like people always got something on the weekend they want to go.
Well, they want to watch it on their couch.
Yeah, true. Yeah, when they can watch UFC or whatever at a bar. But I think it's good in general though. I think it's getting more popular for sure.
Yeah, I hope so, man. I hope it continues to grow, and it's important because people like yourself, like putting yourself out in this platform and just being good role models in the community. That's a super big thing for me as a martial artist. Like being a good role model when you're out there. There's lots of people who are looking up to you, you know, whether you think it or not. There's lots of kids out there training your gym and know exactly who you are. So, you know, it's important.
Public eye, yep.
It very much is, man. So keep doing what you're doing. And I saw you, by the way, like probably like 3 weeks ago. I didn't get a chance to beep. I just noticed you, but you were walking your dog.
Oh, yeah? Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, I won't say the street.
Okay, well, I got a good idea of where then, for sure. I know where I walk the dogs.
Just down by like a pizza shop. And
the dog store. Yep. So
right there.
Not far from there at all.
Yeah, I live right around the corner.
So, oh, really?
Yeah, I'm down on Locks Road.
Okay.
Like, you know where that is? Like you go to like Shuby Park.
Okay, yeah, the area for sure.
Yeah, that road down there. So
small world, small town, I guess.
Yeah, it is, man. It's super small. So, but yeah, man, I want to thank you for joining us. And any quick advice for anybody, you know, like who's kind of struggling with not training right now, and you know, hopefully, I know you're probably in the same boat as everybody. It's one thing to train in basements or whatever. Everybody's going to get their training in, but it's not the same.
Oh no, yeah, it's definitely you can't replace that gym atmosphere with your coach and all your teammates and being in the gym. But you can stay in shape. I think there's always a way. Where there's a will, there's a way.
True.
I think, even if you don't have a home gym, right? Like I don't have a home gym. I don't have like a squat rack or anything like that. But
you got the streets.
Yeah, I got freaking streets. I'm a big fan in jogging for sure. I've been jogging since I was like 16. Before I even stepped in the gym, I was like a month before. I was like, I want to get in good shape before I go in this gym, and then literally jogged for a month. Got there and just gassed right away. I'm like any like hit and miss, and I was like,
I was jogging.
I trained for it. Yeah, I was like, what did I do all this running for a month for if I was just gonna gas out? And like my trainer was like, man, why are you so tired? Like you gotta be able to do this for 10 minutes in a row. Like, and just do what you can, I guess. All you need is motivation, really, and discipline to do it.
Yeah, that's very true. Very well said, man. Motivation and the discipline to do it. You don't need anything else. So I was talking to a guy just before we go. I was talking to a guy today who's an ex kind of pretty big football, not a big, like he's just a big dude who played football. Okay. And we were talking, and he told me he's like 6'5" probably, or like in like, I don't know, maybe 240 or 250. I don't know how big he was, but he was telling me, he's like, man, I went to this jiu-jitsu club this one time. And he's like, and he was really nice, really super humble. And he's like, I went in this jiu-jitsu club thinking like I was angry. I wasn't in a great place in my life. And I went in there and I thought I was going to like kick the shit out of everybody. He's like, I can't believe it. He's like, did I ever get humbled? Like, I get the shit kicked out of me. And I was
For sure. Wow. Definitely. It's an unskilled opponent to someone who trains every day. You know what I mean? And it's second nature to them. It's in their DNA. Like you can't. Yeah. You're not going to be able to hang.
I love it, man. I always enjoy hearing those stories. Like, but it's. I'm like, did you stick with it? He's like, no. I'm like,
oh man, that's
get back there, man. Get back, get your ass back there.
Yeah,
he does.
Yeah, I can't. I don't know. I was once I was in it, I was hooked. But you do see that a lot. You see people, like, and sometimes like they don't like, you know what I mean, getting exhausted and not beat up necessarily, but like jujitsu, right?
Being, whether it's hurt, being played, being like
being the hammer or being the nail, sorry, right?
Yeah.
But that's
over and over
part
and
of
over.
it. Oh man, you got to be the hammer, or you got to be the nail. Sorry,
But you
how
got to
you
be
get
the
better.
hammer too, right? Like,
Yeah, for sure.
you're
For
only
sure.
going to be the hammer after you get the nail. Lots and lots.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So,
Like, yeah, you got to earn it, dude. Like,
for sure.
No bullshit in this kind of sport. Like,
Oh, definitely.
And I
Yeah,
will
this
say,
is especially.
I heard someone say one time, they say, well, if you don't like this, go do ballerina. And I said, ballerina? Like, they're badass. Like, they're super impressive athletes.
Oh, yeah.
Like, they're what they do for, like.
Talk about, like, performing under pressure, right? Like, they're doing probably the smallest little movements. And if they mess up, right? Like,
standing on their toes. Like,
yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't a good comparison.
In front of a freaking crowd and everything, right?
Yeah. In a tutu.
Yeah.
Coming up next at FLA 2, tutus. All right, buddy. Well, thanks for joining me, man. I really appreciate it. And super humble guy, very talented, and I think you got a big future, not just in sport, but in life, dude. You seem like you got a great head on your shoulders, and I really appreciate you taking the time to sit down with us.
Thank you, Kat. Thank you for having me on, and looking forward to the next events in the future. Can't wait to, have MMA and jiu-jitsu and everything back flowing in the Maritimes, especially.
Well, I appreciate that, and also I appreciate what you did at FLA 1, man.
I competed. Thank you.
What's that?
I competed.
No, not at the Kumite. At FLA 1.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You did
more
some
experience
nice there, man.
right?
But it was.
Oh, that's more experience, right? I'd do it again, right? It was just experience in the bank for sure, for sure.
Man.
Happy. That was my second time cornering actually. First time was with Zach Davis, so we got the win that time.
Yeah.
So,
Well, it was and it was an interesting situation, man. But
yeah, definitely was. But hey, it was experience for me, right? Just getting those vibes and those fight night vibes, and even being there with the rest of my teammates. But actually, you know what I mean, cornering, being like the main guy in a guy's corner.
It meant a lot to Doug too.
So. Oh yeah, no, I was happy to get that experience for sure.
Yeah. Well, good for you, man. Stand up human being, dude. So keep it up, man, and FLA 2. We'll talk, Scott.
Yeah, shout out to Scott. Shout out to all the guys at Fit Plus.
Yeah, great guys, great coach.
Yep.
All right, buddy. Thanks for joining us, man. You have a good night, and
Thank you.
Fight start in exactly 5 minutes.
Enjoy. Oh yeah, prelims.
Yeah, they're starting early tonight, 8:30 instead of 9.
Nice.
Gavin's third fight in the prelims. So.
Oh fuck, man. Yeah. I'm definitely watching that. Definitely watching that. Thank you.
All right, man. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you soon.
Thank you. Have a good one. See you. Thank you.
Folks. Luc De Ste Croix. Awesome. Great episode, folks. Again, episode 136, sponsored by our friends at Maritime Madness. Oh, I always do the wrong side. Maritime Madness. 30 different flavors of hot sauces and rubs to choose from. Use the code FLA10. You'll save 10% and receive free shipping over $35 in Canada. It's delicious stuff. This is candied blueberry. Ooh. This is Maritime Madness Bacon Blaze hot sauce. Tons of different flavors like lime and cilantro, and it's delicious. So trust me. All right, folks. Be good to one another out there. Super important in this shitty ass time. Fuck, I hate this time. I'm so sick of it. Be good to one another, though. It's the only way we're going to get through. Love you lots. We're back tomorrow. Goodbye.